probably gonna be like the first video of many, yo. Like, I feel like the rap industry is kind of watered out, and I just really gravitated back to watching smack battles and shit. Back in the day when motherfucking Reed Dollars and fucking Murda Mook was basically the top two niggas out. I mean, you had Serious Jones out there, you had J Mills and motherfuckers like that. I mean, T-Rex was out, you know, Joey Jahai and all the old school motherfuckers when the shit was really popping back, just basically in New York. It wasn't really jumping off a whole lot of other places and shit. I've been watching since then. So now the shit's different. The shit's like fucking boxing. The shit's like ranked, like a fucking boxing committee and shit. And I'm just like completely into it now. So long story short, I watched the Saga versus Shotgun Suge today and shit. Shout out to Smack for dropping that shit, cause that shit was a good battle, yo. I didn't think it was gonna go that way. Like, I'm not really a fan of Suge, but yo came with it. I seen maybe his last 4 battles on YouTube. I think 3 of them he did pretty well, and 1 was just like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not really a fan of the boy, but yo been doing a little better from what I know him, you know, back in his motherfucking disrespecting Proof and shit. Like, you ain't really heard from the nigga much since that whole incident. Like, yo been on the low. So this battle here, this shit did good for Suge. I think this was gonna push him back to the stage and get him more battles. I don't know who would be good comp for yo, considering I don't think his bars is crazy. His shit's not like, you know, like, you don't gotta think deep on whatever it is he putting out and shit. So it's like, this nigga's like the B. Siegel of the box, you know what I mean? Like Styles P, like, he one of them type niggas, yo. So, you know, you're not gonna get nothing extremely crazy, but the nigga will drop a jewel on you from time to time and shit. So for him to go against a nigga like the Saga was just like, you know, he gonna have to bully the nigga. Like, that's his one advantage, you feel me? Like, that's the one come up that he got and shit. The Saga was decent, yo. I think in the battle he had against Prep, which was that shit was a monster. I think in the battle against Prep he showed a lot, and I think his expectations was real high from me and from, I guess, a lot of other motherfuckers, because it shouldn't have been debatable. Like, this wasn't a nigga that you had to throw all your dopest lines ever out. I think if you went bar after bar after bar and gave the crowd what they wanted, and you didn't cater to the whole religious side of the thing, I think it would have panned out a lot better. I think he would have 3-0'd the nigga, but I don't know, yo. After watching that shit, that could have went 2-1 either way. I'm basically size it up like this. Round 1, I think the Saga tried to come out. He tried to fill out the crowd. He tried to drop a few bars. Like, right out the gate, he dropped the bar. And then he tried to feel his way through it. I'm driving right now and shit. I'm a truck driver, yo. I'm out here doing my thing. He tried to fill out the crowd with a bar, and they didn't take to it. Like, I don't think he realized he was going up against what's considered to some degree it would be a fan favorite in a situation like this. You're trying to bring that Christianity to the battle world, and that's just not something that's popular. It's okay to be different, you feel me? But in this situation, like, they're gonna be against you, at least initially, yo. And when he came out the gate swinging, he tried to hit him with his own shit, like, you know, I could do you better than you, and I got, you know what I mean, I could do the gun bars if I wanted to buck over your head. I got it, like, I feel it. But I think that was just a messed up approach. I think he should have just came at the nigga on some traditional rap battle shit, and he tried to come at him with angles and styles and shit. And if the nigga gonna bully you, you basically should have just tried to bully him back. I don't think it would have been debatable. I think bar for bar, I don't think nobody would debate that Suge can't handle that shit. He couldn't handle you bar for bar. So, I don't know. In the first round, the nigga came out. He tried to do his thing, and then I don't think the crowd took to it too well, because I think they was anticipating Suge getting off. Like, Suge was walking around. He was amped up. Niggas wanted to hear what he had to say. Like, this nigga obviously was angry. This nigga was ready to get into it. And so the crowd just wanted Suge. I think had he gone first, it might have went differently. They would have heard what the young nigga had to say, and then it would have changed the whole landscape. I think they would have felt like, okay, this nigga came to give Suge some run. That shit worked out for John against Hitman and shit. John went second. And so after the crowd gave him the love and then they seen what this nigga could do, they was like, okay, we got to fight. But they wasn't really feeling the nigga Saga right up front. So it just looked like Suge came out and swung on the nigga and, you know what I mean, hit him with a punch. So in the first round, I felt like Suge won the shit. Like, Suge came out, he was aggressive, he was angry, he was bumping the nigga. And shout out to Suge, yo. Yo was bumping the nigga the whole battle and shit. And I mean, the nigga, he handled it well. I felt like had that been any other nigga, they might not have made it through the second round. Like, Suge was bumping the nigga the entire time, yo. Had it been any other nigga up there with no sense of peace about him, yo, that shit might not have went over too well. So, I don't know. In the second round, the Saga came out with his bars or whatever. He settled in a little better. He sounded a little better coming out the box, and then the crowd kind of got away from him just a little bit, and then he hit him with the Loaded Lux antics and shit. And I think that's what kind of won that. Like, okay, he one of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we feeling the nigga now. I think that's what kind of got them in his and it got the crowd in his pocket just a little bit. And so he was able to work off of that, and he just cruised from there. Like, I felt like he had it in the second round. He started cruising. Suge came out with typical shit. Gun bar. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me. You know what I mean? This is the type of nigga I am. I do this to you. I do that. And that shit was cool, but for a second round, I would have thought Suge would have came with some better shit. I mean, considering I don't think he that much of a lyricist. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say what he should have done. I just felt like he should have done something different than more of the same than what we used to and shit. Especially when your third round had to be the most amped of all of them in order to close the deal out. So I think Saga got round two. I think niggas wanted a different version of Suge for round two, and they wasn't gonna get it. I kind of felt like we wasn't about to get that anyway myself. But then round three, this is where it got a little iffy, because I think midway through Suge's third round, he started popping off a little bit. He did. His credibility, it got a little high. Like, that nigga started dropping a little shit on him for real. But I think with the long ass anticipated buildups that the Saga was given in round three, I think it just came off a little weak, and it took too much time to get off. But I think when he actually got to the punch of what the whole build-up was about, with the pocket check, your whole career shit, and just the shit that he was bringing, I felt like it won the crowd. Like, he had to repeat like 3 of them and shit, because the crowd wanted it. So I don't know. I felt like 3 was definitely Saga, and I felt like 2 just by the edge, depending on what kind of Suge you like. If you like controversial shit, I mean, I don't know. I felt like Suge got edged out 2-1. I think the first round clearly was his. I don't even think that's a debatable round. I think if it was any round that wasn't debatable, it was the first round. I think Suge clearly had round 1. It's my first video as far as URL responses to the battles that they give, yo. I respect the culture, yo. I advise you do the same, yo. I'm out.